Number 15. An officer pulls over a vehicle for running a red light. He and the driver are having a discussion about what to do next, when it looks like a third vehicle is trying to get the officer's attention off in the distance.
The other light, the light's going straight. Who is this?
The officer probably guesses he is being flagged down by someone with an emergency to report, which happens from time to time during traffic stops, but that's not how this video ends at all.
Hey! Get out of here, man. You're good.
The headlights continue to grow brighter, and soon the officer realizes this driver has no intentions of slowing down. He steps around the back of the car moments before getting flattened. I don't know if the person driving was just completely not paying attention, but this is a major violation that could easily land them behind bars. The police officer lets the first person go and ducks into his squad car to pursue the other car. I'm sure this is definitely not how they were expecting the traffic stop to end. Number 14. Joe Rob TV sees something on the side of the road that's so creepy. He isn't even sure if he was imagining it or not, so he has to take a second look. This time he has his camera ready to record.
What the Oh, what the Oh, what the
The strange person slowly approaches with their hands in their pockets, almost like they've been expecting him, and Joe Rob quickly speeds off. It's hard to tell if they are wearing a Halloween mask, or if their facial features are really that oversized and distorted in real life. If they are wearing a mask, it must extend under the shirt, because I can't see where the mask ends and their neckline begins. If the backstory to this video is real, then none of the friends you are looking at here are still alive. Their families gave police permission to release this video in hopes of solving what happened to them. At some point during their final car ride together, they go through a lonesome old tunnel in the middle of a private country road. They don't think much of it until they come across the same tunnel again, and then a third time. They're driving in a straight line and not a circle. Yet this creepy location keeps greeting them as if they never left. It only gets worse when the engine stops working. If you think this video is fake, then please take a moment and tell me how they were able to make it look like their car breaks down.
Just don't sit here, I don't want to sit.
Anyway, not too long after their car stops working, a song skips on the radio and this figure heads straight their way. And when the car works, they go to reverse. You can see the figure immediately appears behind them in return. I think this last part looks like it could be an amateur horror movie, to be honest, but tell me if this part is editing or not, and then we'll know the real truth. Number 13. A clerk is ringing up a customer in Japan when the lights go out and the ground begins to shake. The customer freezes in place and doesn't know what to do, but the brave clerk drags her around the counter by the hand. Just as the worst of it comes, without looking, the heroic cashier pushes the customer's head under the counter to protect against the falling bottles breaking all around them. At one point, it looks like the shelves are going to topple onto them both, but thankfully the store's infrastructure holds out. By the end of the video, the floor is covered with bottles that fell right where the customer would have been if she wasn't rescued at the last second. This Oklahoma weather report has an interruption and an ending that you will never guess.
The cloudy sky, southerly winds are going to be with us. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. This is live on air.
An earthquake rips through the building and threatens to collapse its very foundations. I think most people would run for cover, but her reaction will probably surprise you more than the actual event.
That was well over 4.0 magnitude, I can tell you that much right now. Let me finish this forecast and then...
Rather than evacuate, she and the rest of the crew bravely finish up the weather report, despite getting rocked by an earthquake over 4.0 on the Richter scale. Let me know if you would have put your job first and done the same, or if you would have been out of there immediately. Number 12. A YouTuber named Joe Shoemaker is exploring an abandoned road on Elm Street in Ohio. At the end of this overgrown dirt road is supposed to be a notorious house with a long and haunted history. The road itself is ominously closed, and they have to break the rules just to get there. After driving for a while, their headlights barely manage to illuminate the dark and collapsing exterior of a house that looks more like a creepy old shack, rather than a place where any normal person would actually ever live. The front porch is an unpassable pile of broken boards and sharp wooden splinters, so John has to walk around the perimeter to find another way inside. The back entrance is a scratched up wooden door. John isn't even sure if someone still lives here or not, but he turns the rusted knob and stands in the door. The inside is barren and lacks insulation. A long ventilation duct runs completely exposed across the length of the wall. Pipes hang on strings for no reason. He hesitates for a moment and takes a single uneasy step inside. Nothing happens, so he takes another step and makes the mistake of letting down his guard.
What the hell's over here?
Just when he feels safe, some sort of blue humanoid figure comes from the bottom of the screen and jumps him. I mean, this could just be one of his friends, but here's the thing. When you look closely at the creature that pops out in front of him, you'll see it only has a single misshapen eye. The Vancouver Paranormal Society investigates a house whose owner has been complaining of strange activity during late hours. They gather in the living room and decide to address the spirit outright. You can hear 2 taps after they try and get its attention.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
They next explain the rules of communication and get no response.
Give me a knock for yes or 2 knocks for no.
That means it actually tapped twice to signify no. When they said they were going to ask it a series of questions, not only did it respond, but it somehow knew what it was going to be asked before they even said the question. As if that wasn't weird enough. As soon as they ask the spirit if it used to live here, they get a visual disturbance in front of the pillow that's in the woman's lap.
Did you used to live here?
Somehow the team misses all of these signs and declares the house to be uninhabited by spirits. After watching these instances, however, I beg to differ. Number 11. A YouTuber named WW2 History Hunter combs an old battlefield in search of artifacts when he suddenly feels watched. He looks into the distance and thinks he sees ghostly movements ahead. Apparently the leaves keep rustling in this one spot in particular, but when he goes to check, no one is there. I think I see what he is talking about, but I'm not 100% sure.
Something is following me. Just saw that. I've seen that 3 times now.
He checks this area no less than 3 separate times, but like I said, I'm having trouble making it out for sure. Still, having said that, I do hear a clear reply when he starts talking again. There's a short pause and then a voice right behind him says yup.
Very, very spooky.
The ground he is standing on has seen a lot of action, so maybe talking about the battle while picking stuff up was enough to summon a spirit. He could have been standing directly over their buried body for all we know. Number 10. Randy Doss claims to live in a haunted house and offers this video evidence for proof.
I dare you to slam that door.
They start recording this video after the door opens all by itself, at which point they try to get the spirit to do something else, and with that said, the ghost seemingly takes up the challenge. Watch the crack in the door and you'll see there's absolutely nobody on the other side.
No.
Just for the record, it's only Nick and I here.
Just when the door almost slams shut, this happens.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god!
Whoa.
The obvious answer is that there is a child standing on the other side of the door, but look again. There appears to be nothing more than an empty sleeve, and more importantly, it doesn't make contact with the door at all. This makes me think that whatever forced the door open could have also rustled the nearby jacket too. Okay, here's a weird one. The closet door in this bedroom keeps opening by itself, but before I even get into that, look what happens with the lamp. Somehow the bulb becomes extremely bright and goes back to normal despite lacking a dimmer switch. After that, the closet door swings open seemingly all by itself. Tell me if you see any signs of human interference here, because I see none whatsoever.
There it goes. And as you can see, there's nothing there.
I thought they were using a hook or something on the bottom right to pull the door open, but when I watched again I saw it was just a power strip running to the lamp. If anything, the door actually moves the strip out of the way, not the other way around. The closet looks too full to hold another item, but who knows what else was in there staring at them from the other side. Number 9. This old VHS tape from 1999 could have captured a ghost, but I need your help to tell if it's true.
If you look to the right of the 2 tombstones, you can clearly see a figure standing there dressed in white.
I definitely see the ghost in question, especially when you zoom in. There's actually a surprising amount of detail, and I can even make out the buttons on their shirt and possibly a long musket. At the same time, I have some other possible explanations as to what this could be. This could be the open space between 2 trees, in which case the vivid details are nothing more than a random arrangement of branches. This could also be a cemetery statue from afar. This was taken way before high definition, so it's hard to tell for certain, but I'd still like to get your thoughts. Number 8. This snake charmer is ready to demonstrate his ability to tame wild reptiles by matching their energy with his own. To his credit, he is somehow able to push down on this cobra snake by applying 2 fingers to its head. It does let out a deep and low warning hiss though, so he shouldn't feel too safe just yet. As soon as their physical bond is broken, the snake regains its senses and lunges. The cobra reaches the very edge of the camera but misses his hand. Hopefully he learns his lesson from this failed attempt, but somehow I doubt it. Number 7. This Uber passenger looks like a relatively regular person at first, until he reveals a rather unsettling tendency.
Oh! God.
He reaches to his face and gently presses both eyes out of the socket. The right eye protrudes way more than the left and looks ready to burst and roll down his cheek at any moment. I can't imagine that doing this would be good for your eyes at all, and I hope he doesn't cause long-term health problems. But for now, he has definitely succeeded in creating a video to creep out you and me both. Number 6. Danny keeps noticing footprints in the snow leading up to his house, wide and spaced far apart. He checks his CCTV system only to discover whatever is making the tracks is apparently invisible. 7 seconds into the video, snow patches fly up for no reason at all. Danny suspects that this is a ghost because absolutely nothing was nearby. The long tracks do kind of look like someone kicking their feet as they are being dragged, but I'm not sure what to think, so maybe you can help me decide. Number 5. A man draws suspicion when he holds his phone a little too high while looking away. When he does look at his phone, he appears to be in deep concentration. Little does he know the window behind him reflects his screen, betraying him and telling the whole story to anyone quick enough to notice. Look to the right and you'll see the blurry image of a woman sitting. He is obviously recording the female passenger for whatever reason, who is secretly recording him in return. This continues for well over a minute. He is looking straight at his screen, and there's no possible way he doesn't know the camera is on. The idea of watching someone through your phone is beyond creepy. And if he was recording a video, who knows how many times he watched it later in his free time. Number 4. The local lake is overflowing and freezing at the same time. Now a giant mass of jagged ice is pushing past the shore. At first, the freak weather is somewhat fun to play in, but as the lake continues to spill over, they realize their houses will soon be in the way of the carnage. The moving mass of ice shards crackles loudly as it continues to expand, first past their yard and then up to their front door. Within less than a minute, the situation changes from amusing to desperate.
It's hitting the houses. It's crawling up the walls of the houses. Yeah.
Oh my god, their door's in!
By now, the ice is piled up beyond control, and an entire lake's worth of frozen water threatens to push the houses from their very foundation. Within just 6 minutes, the entire landscape has switched from greenery to solid frost. I'm guessing they had to stop recording and evacuate shortly thereafter. A YouTuber in Louisiana named Barris Bash tries to stay positive as his entire neighborhood fills with water, with everyone still trapped inside. What starts as some water in his backyard soon enters the home and becomes a total crisis. The YouTuber has the right attitude by not panicking. He puts on a brave face as he makes a video to help relieve the stress. At the same time, I can't help but notice the TV is still on. It's pretty high off the ground, but I think they should have shut off all power because any charge could electrify the very water that they're standing in.
Keeping water around your house. Not that bad.
Eventually, when the water gets too high, they escape via canoe and road to dry land. If the family didn't have this canoe, then they would have been at the mercy of a rescue or one of their neighbors. Number 3.
Lil Mayo, you out here?
Spectators gaze overhead at a bizarre white light piercing the sky. Adults and children alike gather in the street with their cell phones out. None of them can figure out what is going on, much less put the situation into words. The whole ordeal almost looks like a helicopter searchlight, except that it makes no noise and does not move at all. A NASA experiment or even a portal to an alternate dimension are 2 more possibilities, however unlikely they may be. Whatever this is, it happened somewhere over California in October of 2018 and has never been properly explained. It's 1:40 in the morning and 2 friends are cruising down a dark road, completely unable to see what's on the other side. They both think that they spot movement in the trees, and having nothing better to do, they pull over and shine their headlights into the area. Nothing happens for some time, and then a figure slowly emerges from the dry brush. One of them says that they think this is a witch, and I agree that could be a possibility. They are dressed in all black and hunched over, holding what appears to be a walking stick. If this is not fake and that's not a third friend, then I can't imagine what anybody would be doing walking in complete darkness all alone, especially so late at night. Number 2. A news reporter is getting ready to go live when an elderly local wanders into his frame.
How are you?
The 2 politely exchange hellos and the reporter thinks nothing of it until he squints off in the distance, thinking he recognizes the person from somewhere. As it turns out, the man who just passed them by was the exact same person who they were seconds away from doing a missing report on.
I'm Jerry, man. Been looking for you for a while. You hurt or anything? No? You cold?
He has memory problems and had wandered away yesterday. Looking at him, you wouldn't be able to tell anything is wrong with his memory, but his shoes are wet and he has been wandering in the wilderness overnight. Fortunately, he somehow found his way back to the road, and they were able to get him before he became too exhausted and lost. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because we upload a new scary video every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. A YouTuber named the J Mort is enjoying the Swiss Alps until a massive snowfall traps him alive. Now it's up to Daniel O'Sullivan and his small crew to locate and dig him out before he runs out of air or freezes, whichever comes first. Daniel rips off his gloves so he can put together his digging tools more quickly. After all, getting frostbite in a few fingers is nothing compared to saving an actual life. They don't see anything for a while until James sticks a pole out of the snow and waves it around to draw their attention. This shaves hours off of their search and is ultimately what saves his life. With the J Mort located, Daniel doesn't waste a single moment going to work on the freezing snow with only a shovel and his bare hands.
We're here, dude.
By the end of it, Daniel's hands are too frozen to even take his helmet off, but his friend is alive, and that's all that really matters. Kudos for such a well done rescue. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!